admit dayon ta mo ha kay magpusot-pusot na ni ang ako ang storya di na ako makabantay nga naa di ay mo try og enter. Okay? So ana siya. Okay, so let's start. So first we have Clostridium species. Okay? So it's very important for you to really have the knowledge of the Clostridium species because this is one of the most devastating diseases nga ma-encounter ninyo in veterinary practice. Okay, when you hear tetanus, okay, so that is caused by your Clostridium species. When you hear unsa pa man, um, black disease or kanang black leg disease, kana siya. So that's your um, Clostridium gyapon ang gakosa na. Okay, so daghan kayo pwedeng diseases nga makosa to ang animals nga Clostridium ang dahilan. Okay? So ang nakanindot po daan ay ang naka powerful po daan ni Clostridium or naka significant niya, it's because of their dual nature, meaning they exist there in the environment, like they are saprophytes there, live lang sila normally, harmless sa soil, okay? And also in the intestinal tract of the animals. But they produce the most potent toxins when they are given the chance or when they are given the opportunity. Okay, hilom-hilom ra sila din ha sa soil of sa intestinal tract of the animals. So once, okay, ready to release toxins na ko, so that's the time nga mag-release sila toxins. Ang harmless nila nga state, nahimo ng harmful. Okay, muna ilahang significance. Okay, so let's start with the characteristics first. So your Clostridium species, they are large gram-positive rods, 0.2 to 4 micrometers in width and 2 to 20 micrometers in length. So grabe siya kataas. If makita niyo sa gram stain here, oh, tagas kay siya. And yeah, distinct na siya nga appearance for the Clostridium. Okay? And one of the key defining feature of Clostridium also is their ability to form spores. Okay? Maka-form siya og, excuse me, spores, specifically endospores. Okay? So this is critical for their survival strategy ug sa ilang pathogenesis that you will understand later. Okay? And also these endospores, this will allow them to survive in harsh environmental conditions for years. Okay? Naa sila sa soil, sa mga surgical instruments, or sa kanang mga dried feces. Tungod kay ga-produce sila og endospores, kaya nila mo survive for a long time. Okay? Pila pa na ka years to decade. Okay? So, tungod ani nga spores. Okay? And when the conditions become favorable again, these spores can germinate and return to their vegetative state. Okay? Ang mahitabo manggod ani, spores sila sa environment. Okay? So spores kay para maka-infect sila or able to able sila nga makuha sa imuhang host. Okay? So karon na-inhale for example ang spores. Karon pagsulod niya sa body sa imuhang host, since forced man siya, mag-release din siya og toxins inside the host body. Okay? And then once ma-release na yung toxins, unsa may iyang next buhaton? Mo transform back siya into vegetative state. Sa vegetative state, dili siya maka-release og toxins but able to reproduce siya. So muna po na yung goal, magpadaghan. Kay para katong pag managhan na sila, mo transform na po sila balik into spores para mo release na po og toxins. Okay? Kay mo man na ang toxins, mo man na ang mag-produce og lesions, og signs and lesions sa tuwang host. Okay? So, kana siya. Actually, si vegetative, mo start na siya og release of toxin, pero pag mas spores na gani siya, mubalik na siya into spores, mo na siya ang gakos nga mag-infect, okay? Mag-produce og lesions. Basta ang main goal ni vegetative is mag-reproduce. Okay? And then you have your obligate anaerobe, si Clostridium, except ni Clostridium difficile in which able siya to tolerate air. Okay? Aerotolerant siya. And yeah, most of the species, they survive at kanang 37 degrees Celsius or body temperature. And then most of the Clostridium also are motile, except Clostridium perfringens nga walay flagella. Okay? And then if makita niyo habitat ubiquitous in soil, so yeah, nalang sila din ha sa soil, sa mga sa gastrointestinal tract, and also in the feces. It's either in humans or in animals. Okay? Makita po ninyo diri sa BAP, nag-manifest siya o um, here, double zone hemolysis. Okay? Okay, for the virulence factor of your Clostridium species, we have five virulence factors. So mga importante nga virulence factor ni Clostridium. First, you have your alpha toxin, which is also known as phospholipase C or lecithinase. Okay? So, trabaho niya, it destroys the cell membranes by breaking down the phospholipids. Okay, phospholipase gani iyahang pangalan. Okay? So iyahang gipang breakdown ang mga phospholipids in the cell membranes, leading now to massive tissue necrosis. Okay? Necrosis, nangamatay ang cell sa yang tissues, muna nga makakita kag lata nga tissues. Okay? Green or black nga tissue sa tuang host. Okay? Or muna imong ginatawag nga gas gangrene. Okay? Or what you call clostridial myonecrosis. So na ay dead na ang cells sa iyahang muscles. Okay? Kay myo man, the term myo. Okay? And then second, we have beta toxin. This is pore forming. So it creates holes. If makita ninyo sa sa ato ang diagram, iyahang pangbuslutan ang intestinal epithelium. Okay? This will lead now to necrotizing enteritis. Nangalata na pod ang intestine, in which we particularly see in young animals. Okay? Nara. Sa young animals, so it could either be pigs, dogs, cats, ana siya. Okay? And then we have epsilon toxin. It acts as a permease. So, iyang target is the endothelial cells of the brain and kidney. Okay? So, this is why we see neurological signs sa ato ang mga enterotoxemia cases or mga kidney signs. Edema. Okay? So, fourth, we have iota toxin. So, responsible ani si ADP ribosylates actin, in which it causes complete cytoskeletal collapse. Okay? This is what you see, or this is why nganong na ay severe fluid loss and shock nga makita na to in cases of enterotoxemia cases. Kuan ha, pag muingon ganitag enterotoxemia, the word entero meaning gastrointestinal na siya ha, and then toxemia, so na toxins present on the intestine. Okay? Basin magsigir tag enterotoxemia nga dili ta kasabot siya pasabot ana. Okay? So kana na severe fluid loss and shock. Okay? So mo na siya kana sa cell o gubo niya na dayon mag-leak ang mga fluids inside mo na ay severe fluid loss. Okay? And then we have net B toxin is another pore forming gyapon ni siya nga toxin that causes necrotic enteritis, but this is particularly in poultry, si net B toxin. Okay? And then beyond these toxins, excuse me, the Clostridia species also produce adhesins and capsules like the other bacteria para maka-attach sila sa host tissues and avoid phagocytosis. And then you must also remember that in order for us to successfully treat mga clostridial diseases is to neutralize these toxins. Okay? Mo man ni sila ang produce of kanang lesions or signs and lesions sa tuang host. So atong goal i-neutralize ni sila. Munang naatay ginatawag ng mga antitoxins, okay? Anti-tetanus, kana siya. So we have classification of Clostridium by pathotype. So let's first have neurotoxic Clostridia. That includes Clostridium tetani and Clostridium botulinum. Okay? The word itself, neurotoxic. So these species, they produce potent neurotoxins but are generally non-invasive. Unsa may pasabot ana. Okay? Ang yang pasabot kani si Clostridium tetani ug si botulinum magpundura na sila isa ka lugar. Ang ilahang ipaaway or ang ilahang panlaban ana is mag-release sila og toxin. Ang toxin na dayon mo'y magsuroy-suroy sa tibuok lawas sa host. Pero sila nagpuyo ra sila, mura sila mga bus-amo. Okay? So for example, si Clostridium tetani. If ever masamad ka o common misconception is pag masamad ta og taya. Okay, for example, nasangit ka og taya nga for example sa surgery room. Ato ka surgery room ang mga surgical table dito kay mga taya naman. So for example, nasangit ka. Moingon nga taya ba? Moingon ni kaghala matetanus ko. Okay? So dili ka matetanus ana kung wala na contaminate ang rusty steel. Okay? Kung wala na siya na-expose sa soil or sa mga surgical instruments nga contaminated, kana siya. Okay? Dili pasabot nga na ay taya, pwede na kang magtetanus. Okay? Muna inyong hunahunaon. And then, so for example, nasamad na ka no, o butang ka lang, nagtiniil ka, naglakaw-lakaw ka, kay kapoy kag tsinelas. Tapos, nasamad ka og lansang sa nga naa sa soil, okay? Nasa salog. Samad ka. So karon, for example, ni-infect ang Clostridium tetani sa imong samad, ang Clostridium tetani will just stay locally in the wound. Okay? Nara sa dinha. Siyang buhaton, mag-release siya og toxins nga mo systemically infect sa imuha para musaka siya sa imuhang brain. Okay? Munang naka neurological signs. And then, si Clostridium botulinum. Si Clostridium botulinum mo colonize siya to a limited extent. Okay? Naman na iduha later ako i-explain sa inyo na iduha ka klase nga botulism, wound botulism and food botulism. So si wound botulism mag-colonize siya to a limited extent. So mas mas dagko siya og ma-colonize compared with your tetany. Pero dili kay siya ing ana ka potent mo produce og toxins compared with your Clostridium tetani. Okay? So mo na siya sa imong neurotoxic. For histotoxic, the word itself histo. So tissues ang iyahang i-destroy. Okay? Under that, we have Chauvoy, Septicum, Novi, and Sordelli. So, unsa na po nilang trabaho? They produce less potent toxins individually. Okay? Also, ano sila nga, ay, hinay ra kay imong toxin ha. Okay ra, mubawi ko, kay grabe ko ka laagan, grabe ko kalihukan. Okay? Highly invasive sila, so they can cause extensive nga gas gangrene. So, in histotoxic cases, makakita gid mo daghan kayo nga mga myonecrosis or gas gangrene around sa body sa imong host compared with your neurotoxic. Okay? Get? Less potent toxins, but highly invasive when you say histotoxic. Third classification, we have your enterotoxic. So the word itself, entero, again, sa gastrointestinal. So under that, you have your perfringens and difficile. Okay? So this primarily, again, cause intestinal disease. So dire mo produce enterotoxins that are absorbed from the intestine, leading now to systemic toxemia. Okay, this is why enterotoxemia cases can go from normal to deadly nga paspas kayo. Okay, kalit lang kamatay. Fourth pathotype or classification is the atypical group, which is under that si lone Clostridium, which is Clostridium piliforme, the one that causes Steiser's disease. Okay, this is unique because it's actually an obligate intracellular pathogen, meaning ayaw siya mabuhi when it's inside the host. Kung magawas siya, mamatay po siya. Okay, so ang importance with knowing this classification is for you to know or guide you with your differential diagnosis later on. Okay? If you see sudden death with minimal lesions, you think enterotoxic. If you see extensive tissue necrosis or gas production, then you think histotoxic. Okay? Kung neurological signs, syempre, neurotoxic. Okay? So, makita ko na to yung Tizers, ang yahang lesions is specifically in the liver. Okay. Ayun na kayo siya. So, we have neurotoxic Clostridia. So, ato na ni siyang ikuan, no? So, under neurotoxic is itong na si tetany o si botulinum. So, first we have to question sa to ang mga minds o unsay difference ni intoxication versus infection. Okay? So, before that, we have Clostridium tetani. Okay, it causes tetanus, okay, through wound contamination. So again, the bacteria remain localized at the infection site, but they produce neurotoxin. Unsa man ang neurotoxin? You have tetanus plasmin. Okay, tetanus plasmin, which will block the inhibitory neurotransmitters. So unsa man in normal or in physiology unsay trabaho ni inhibitory neurotransmitters? Okay? Ang ilang trabaho is to relax the muscles. So since gi-block man siya ni tetanus plasmin that is produced by your Clostridium tetani, dili na ma-relax imong muscles. Ang resulta ana permanenteng contracted ang muscles affected nga host. Rigid, gahi permente kay nag-contract permente. Okay? Because si tetanus plasmin gi-block niya ang inhibitory neurotransmitters. Okay? That will lead now to spastic paralysis. Okay? When it spastic, rigid ang muscles, it can manifest lockjaw or it can manifest Sawhorse stance in horses. Sawhorse, Sawhorse nga stance. I-search ninyo unsay porma ng Sawhorse stance. Okay? But sa the neurotoxin prevents muscle relaxation, so animals infected become rigid. Okay? So that's your Clostridium tetani. And then for Clostridium botulinum, depende siya sa form. So in wound botulism, the bacteria grow in necrotic tissues. And then in there, mag-produce din siya og botulinum toxin. Okay? So unsa na po trabaho ni botulinum toxin? Iyahang i-block ang acetylcholine release, in which unsa man di ay ang trabaho ni acetylcholine release ni acetylcholine at the neuromuscular junctions. Iyahang contract ang muscles, si acetylcholine. Muna yung trabaho, tig-contract sa muscle. So again, dili man siya pag-gaution o dili man siya ipa-release ni botulinum toxin. So ang ending, ang muscle sa affected with Clostridium botulinum is flaccid. Humok kayo, luya kayo because the muscles can contract. Okay? So muna yung difference ni Clostridium botulinum ug ni tetany. Si tetany spastic paralysis, si botulinum flaccid paralysis. Okay, that's for the wound botulism. Now we have food botulism. Si food botulism, unlike with your wound botulism and coccidio or your tetanus na infection, in food botulism, it's pure intoxication. Nganong intoxication man? Because in food botulism, the animals consume preformed toxin. Okay, meaning na nakakuha sa anang Clostridium botulinum nga naanay toxin nga na form. Okay? Dili niya kinahanglan nga inside pa sa host mo um, mo mo release og toxins. Okay, naka-form na sa daan and then gikaon dahil sa animals then mo na for example sa mga chickens no infected with Clostridium botulinum na nga namatay ang chicken tapos gilapa og iro gikaon og iro so karon imbis nag-form na og toxin ang katong naa sa muscle sa ato ang chicken gikaon og iro nga nanay toxin so mo na yung nahitabong food botulism. That is pure intoxication. Get? But the same ra gihapon siya nga flaccid paralysis gihapon ang manifestation. Okay? And then we have Clostridium botulinum type C, which causes limber neck in waterfowls. Okay, limber neck is permitting gadungo ang birds. Okay, permitting silang gadungo, dili sila ka hangad. Okay, muna imuhang limber neck. Histotoxic Clostridia, so for Clostridium chauvoy, it primarily um, affects cattle and sheep that causes black leg disease, okay, or black quarter. Transmission is through ingestion of spores. Then once ingested, they cross the intestinal barrier and then they remain dormant in the muscle tissue. Okay, so when madamage ang muscle, in cases of trauma or injection sites, the anaerobic condition will activate these dormant spores. Nagapuyo raw ta, harmless lang sila. Pag naa gani tamad, ingana, oy, perfect. Ingana si Clostridium chaway. Okay, it's time for me to release my virulence factors. Okay? So, unsa man ang mga virulence factors ni Chowboy? We have cytotoxin A. Si cytotoxin A, ang iyahang trabaho is to cause the characteristic muscle necrosis in black leg. Okay? So, it would also help with the invasion. Si flagella. Okay, invasion. Cytotoxin A is for the primary niya nga trabaho is for muscle necrosis. We have DNAs that will help spread the infection by breaking down the DNA barriers. Okay, DNAs gani. And then you have your hyaluronidase where it acts as a spreading factor. And you have your traubiolithin in which it causes additional tissue damage. So parehas sila ng cytotoxin A. Okay? So your black leg, it presents as acute lameness first. Medyo luya pa ay medyo dili katarong og lakaw ang imuhang cattle and sheep when infected with black leg, and then kadugayan there would be muscle swelling that's initially hot and painful, then it becomes cold and crepitant due to gas production. Okay, and then the affected muscle now will turn dark, mao nang black leg ang tawag. Unya, without treatment, death would occur within 12 to 48 hours. Okay, so mo na siya. Hmm. And then another species under histotoxic, you have Ricosidium septicum that causes malignant edema in cattle, sheep, and pigs, and Braxy in sheep. Okay, it also causes necrotic dermatitis in chickens. So, what makes Clostridium septicum particularly dangerous? Excuse me, is its ability to cause both traumatic infection and spontaneous disease. Okay? So for example, in traumatic malignant edema, the pattern is similar to black leg. Ingana ang niyahang nawong. Okay? So ang nahitabuan ni, there is also contamination of wound that leads to rapid tissue necrosis and systemic toxemia. Okay? But dili lang traumatic ang iyahang pwedeng mabuhat. It can also cause spontaneous malignant edema where the infection appears without obvious trauma, without obvious wound. Okay? Spontaneous, nikalit lang siya ka malignant edema nga dili mahibaw-an nga asa nakasulod si Clostridium septicum. Okay? And then we have Braxy. So si Braxy, that is a specific manifestation in sheep. Dili kay siya gakahappen diri sa Philippines because of the mode of transmission of your Braxy is typically occurring in winter. It's when the sheep are fed with frozen feeds or mga frosty nga mga pastures. So kanang mga ga-ice diha sa pasture, kana ka ang ga-damage sa abomasal mucosa sa tuwang sheep. That allows the Clostridium septicum to invade and cause hemorrhagic abomascitis sa atuang sheep. So that's for the Braxy. Okay? In the Philippines, hindi kay siya gaka-happen, dili siya gaka-happen kay um wala man tay ice. Okay? Kuan na lang kanang unless na lang nagpakaon ka dinha og kanang mga makasamad gyud sa abomasum sa ato ang sheep. Okay? So the laboratory identification here is we have the Clostridium septicum ferments sucrose, but it does not ferment salicin. Okay, this will help us differentiate it from other histotoxic Clostridia that will ferment salicin. Okay, so yeah. And then we have Clostridium novi under histotoxic gihapon that the type A causes big head in rams. It's particularly during breeding season. So this occurs when the rams fight and sustain facial wounds that become infected with Clostridium novi. Okay? So nag-away, nangasamad, then muna ang route of entry ni novi. Okay? Ang resulta na, there would be massive facial swelling and gas gangrene. Hence the term big head. Okay? And then type B, it causes black disease. Lahi siya sa black leg or black quarter. Black disease siya where it causes necrotic hepatitis. So liver yahang atake. So here's where the liver flu connection becomes critical. your young Fasciola hepatica will migrate through the liver and it will create anaerobic necrotic tracts. Kanang mga gipang-agian ni Fasciola hepatica muna diha mag-lodge, diha mag-germinate si Clostridium novi spores. Kay anaerobic condition man siya. So diha siya mag-lodge and then diha siya mag-cause of hepatic necrosis. So when you are trying to eliminate Clostridium novi type B, make sure to also eliminate Fasciola hepatica, especially sa environment. Okay? Hmm. Next. We have Clostridium sordelli. So it causes gas gangrene in cattle, sheep, and horses. While less common siya than other isotoxic Clostridia, it's equally devastating. Okay? Pareha ra silang effect sa ubang histotoxic Clostridia, pero less common siyang ma-happen. Okay? Same ra gihapon through wound infection, from traumatic injuries, surgical procedures, or mga parturition complications. Okay? So, kaning organism, it still produces potent toxins that will cause rapid tissue necrosis and systemic toxemia. Okay? So, makita nga dito sa picture, no? Lain-lain yun ang gakos of gas gangrene. So, figure 1, ang gakos Clostridium septicum. Figure 3 is Clostridium sordelli in a horse. And then figure 4 is Clostridium septicum, Chauvoy, and sordelli. Okay? Eh, if mangutana mo no, if once this infection established and begin to produce toxin, ang damage ani is often irreversible. Dili na siya mabalik into its original color, okay? Or state. And then we have Clostridium perfringens. So perfringens is enterotoxic na ni siya ha. Um, So it's encapsulated and non-motile and has the fastest generation time, which it can divide every 10 minutes. Okay? So ingana sa ka paspas managhan in ang resulta ma-overwhelm ang immune system sa tuang host mo nang dili ka laban mo nang mamatay po dayon diretsyo. Magka-systemic spread or septicemia na ang host. Okay? So pakita na to under gram stain. Ang gram stain is gram-positive rods gihapon siya and nasa characteristic na boxcar shape. So kinsa pa tong isa ka bacteria nga naay boxcar shape. Okay, you have your Bacillus. Okay, so si Bacillus of si Clostridium perfringens. And then we can also see the double zone hemolysis and excuse me. Yeah. Kani siya. So, if makita na to, encapsulated siya, no? This would help the Clostridium perfringens avoid phagocytosis and then non-motile siya. Feeling na to disadvantage siya, but Clostridium perfringens doesn't need to move. Kaya again, it will produce enzymes and toxins that would bring nutrients to it and it would clear the way for passive spread. Okay? Dili siya kinahanglan mo move. Maoray kana ang mga enzymes ug toxins mo'y magtrabaho para sa iyaha. Okay? So muna siya. And then naatay lain-laing types of Clostridium perfringens kung asa sila mo infect nga host ug unsay mga associated disease. Okay? And then another enterotoxic species we have Difficile. So si Difficile more likely an antibiotic induced diarrhea siya. For example, nagsigig antibiotic ang imuhang host so nang-disrupt ang intestinal flora or normal gut flora. So that would make Clostridium difficile spores to germinate. So kana siya, mag-produce na din siya toxins that would damage the actin cytoskeleton of the intestinal epithelial cells and would lead to cell death and inflammation sa yang intestinal epithelium. So munang ang yang intestine dili na maka-absorb og water, muna ang water mauban sa yang feces, munang naay diarrhea nga ma-happen. Okay? And then we have Clostridium colinum, which causes quail disease or ulcerative enteritis that primarily affects young quail. Okay? So, quail under 6 weeks of age. If makita na to, ang yang lesions are most prominent in the cecum. Okay? Kay, kana, sa cecum siya most prominent and it causes high mortality in affected ng mga quails na to. Okay? So, it dili lang siya enteritis, it could also cause hepatic lesions. Okay? The liver lesions are notable na ay mga kana siya, mga hemorrhages diha. Okay, kanang black black. Dili na siya normal. And then we have a typical classification. We have Clostridium piliforme, which causes Tyser's disease. So, liver ang iyahang attack. Okay, acute liver necrosis. So, gram variable siya. So, dili siya categorized as positive or negative kay pwede siya nga maglain-lain siya. Okay? So, muna ang iyahang manifestation. So for the laboratory diagnosis, so after tanagram stain, catalase test, sa katong-atong mga balik-balik na mga procedure sa BAP, we have cooked meat broth. Okay? So this is for primary isolation. Okay, ansay na aning tube. This contains fat-free heart tissues. Heart tissues na siya kanang mga unod din ha. And mga amino acids like glutathione and cysteine para ang inside the tube mag-maintain og anaerobic environment in which the bacteria require. Okay, para motubo sila. So this medium is excellent for initial recovery of Clostridia from clinical specimens. So aside sa mag-isolate ka o suspected Clostridium, dili ka magikan sa BAP, magikan ka o clinical sample mismo idiretsyon nimo ani. Okay? And then we have thioglycolate broth also, in which this is enriched with resveratrol nga gaak as oxidation reduction indicator. So the resveratrol will turn pink in the presence of oxygen para ma-monitor nato kung anaerobic pa ba sa sulod. Okay? So this medium is particularly useful for testing aero tolerance of isolates. Okay? Basta kay pag once ma-expose sila sa air for even brief periods, it can kill the vegetative cells, but still ang spores makasurvive. Pero again, pag wala na yung vegetative, dili na sila managhan. Okay? And then additional biochemical confirmation, we have um the Nagler reaction under egg yolk agar. Okay? This is the test that we would check if we want to test the lecithinase activity. Okay? Ang nahitabo lang idan is si Clostridium species na ay lecithinase nga enzyme and then si egg yolk agar na ay lecithin. Okay? Once na ay interaction between the two, lanayon niya ang lecithin nga naa sa agar. Munang na ay opalescence. Munang ingana ang iyahang forma. Okay? So, that's for the Nagler reaction. And then we have the reverse camp test. Okay? Kani siya, gistrika na to o group B streptococcus, and then kaning letter C, and then for group A, gistrika na to o suspected nga Clostridium perfringens. So, kung Clostridium perfringens gani imuhang suspect ani, dapat mo produce siya og enhanced hemolysis which is bow tie appearance. Okay? Mo na siya. Kani siya, letter B, unsay gi-strict ana pero wala siya ning positive. Okay? Ingana siya. So that's for your reverse camp test. And then we have litmus milk test. So it shows the characteristic stormy clot reaction. So Clostridia will ferment the lactose in milk, producing acid and gas. So the acid now will cause the milk proteins to coagulate, while ang katong gas production, it creates the characteristic disrupted frothy appearance. Mo nang stormy clot ang yahang nawong. Okay? This is particularly prominent with Clostridium perfringens. And then we have nitrate reduction testing, which helps differentiate the species. Okay? So a positive result will show the characteristic red color when nitrate is reduced to nitrite. Okay? So, munang nitrate reduction. Kaya ipa-reduce na to ang nitrate to nitrite. Okay, so the intensity of the color will indicate the degree of nitrate reduction. The more red siya, the more siya able to reduce nitrate. Okay, and then we have gelatin liquefaction. This tests for the gelatinase production. So positive organisms will produce the enzyme gelatinase, which will break down the gelatin, causing it to liquefy. Malanay siya, ang gel ma-liquid siya. So meaning, gelatinase producing ang bacteria. Okay, so this will help us distinguish between different Clostridial species, as some are strong gelatinase producers while others are negative. Okay, so muna atong combination, morphology, motility, the specific toxin test, o kanang mga biochemical confirmation para makakuanta sa Clostridial species. So, for the table, kung kinsa ang mo positive mo negative ang mga Clostridium under this biochemical confirmation, it's for you to compile. Okay? And then prevention. So it's for one of our prevention strategies is through vaccination. So 3 weeks before lambing para ma-ensure na to nga na ay high antibody levels that could transfer via colostrum para maka-provide of passive immunity to the newborns. And then during disease outbreaks, we implement immediate vaccination of the susceptible animals. While this won't help animals that are already incubating the disease, it can still protect others nga katong wala pa natakdan. Okay, or wa pa ga-incubate ang disease. And then husbandry. So we must prevent overeating of energy-rich foods sa tuang mga hosts because this creates the ideal intestinal environment for Clostridial proliferation and toxin production. Okay? So this is why mga enterotoxemia cases, makita nimo siya usually sa mga best condition nga mga animals kay tungod aning energy-rich nga mga diet. Okay? And then sanitation. Yeah, dili gyud nato ma-eliminate entirely ang spores, but we can reduce the exposure levels through proper manure management. So unsa man, facility cleaning, i-avoid na to ang overcrowding. Okay? So prevention over treatment ang key principle ani. So here's the clinical summary. So if gusto pa ninyo more pa nga table, then na mas nindot na kamo maghimo sa table kay para mas maano ninyo kabalo mo usa nga plastada ang inyong comfortable mo. Okay? Okay, so that's it for Clostridium. Then we proceed with Corynebacterium. Nasabtan ang Clostridium? Okay, narana sa inyo ha if kanang maminaw mo karon or magbasa mo, naragi na siya sa inyo. Basta ako magklasiko. Unsa man? Unsay ato?
Do, i-upload ninyo naman sa page.
Ano man, ug maminaw day karon.
Wala lang, okay na po do.
Ah, naman po datay ga record. Okay, so para na siya. Wait lang. Um, O'Reilly. Yes. Unsa man hibinada? Okay, patas-taas ra ka or
Dok, naka-mention man ka Dok about sa kanang katong enterotoxemia Dok no, and then energy-rich food sa mga patients nga naay enterotoxemia. Unsang alternative Dok if ever naay cases nga na mahitabo sa mga patient Dok?
i-reduce nimo ang kuan, ang when it in the context of energy rich food, i-reduce nimo ang i-formulate nimo yang diet nga kana itanaw nimo ang for example dog food, tanaw nimo ang yahang nutritional contents, imong i-analyze kung asa nga nutritional content ang ga-produce og much energy. So ana ra siya, formulate ra gid siya, then di pud ka makaingon nga i-totally eliminate nimo ang mga nutrition nga ga-provide og energy or mga carbohydrates kay lisod sad magluya imong kuan, i-reduce lang nimo. Di lang pud mo palabian, ana lang siya. Sakto ba akong pagkasabot sa imong question?
Sakto ra Dok, na gets na nako Dok. If ever
Oo.
po Dok na is reduce na iyang kuan Dok, ang iyang intake mo padayon gyapon ka sa antibiotic nga treatment Dok?
Pero tanawon po nimo og mo kuan ba pod mo sani mo na ba po improvement sa imuhang patient. Kay if ever wala improvement, change na po kag another antibiotic nga much stronger o much kanang broad spectrum antibiotic. Munang dili ka dayon mo diretso og mga broad spectrum antibiotic kay para napa kay step 2 or kanang plan B when it comes to dili mo work ang imong first antibiotic.
Okay Dok, thank you Dok.
Mm. Sige, we continue with Corynebacterium. So si Corynebacterium, its morphology, Corynebacterium yung pangalan because of this one. Coryne is the Greek word for club. Nga naman siya because its club-shaped appearance. Kanang ginapalo ninyo sa golf, muna ang clubs. So muna daw yahang appearance under the microscope. Okay? And then, it's also pleomorphic, meaning it can manifest different shapes. Okay? And non-spore forming siya and non-motile. And it has an ability to grow as either aerobic or facultatively anaerobic. Okay, so adaptable kay siya sa different environments. And we have kuan, we have also arrangement. So we look for V shapes. Makita ninyo diri o mura siya ga V ana ang yang arrangement or like the kanang ang ubang textbook kay moingon sila nga mura sila og kanang palisades or kanang mga fence, for example ingana. And then some literature would also say nga mura sila Chinese letter in appearance. Okay, so tanang pwedeng characteristic nga appearance inyo gina siyang memorization. Okay, and also, you can observe here the metachromatic granules. So, kanang mga metachromatic granules, that is the storage granules na siya na characteristic of your Corynebacterium that would stain differently from the rest of the cell sa imuhang Coryne. Kay muna ang important identifying feature ni Corynebacterium, the presence of metachromatic granules that would appear as dark spot within the bacterial cell. Okay, kana siya. Kanang mga black po din ha, muna ang metachromatic granule. In which, pag imo na siyang i-zoom in or ato na siyang ikuha na siya, iyang kaugalingong ingani. Okay? So, the cellular structure and habitat para makasabot dito sa ilahang pathogenic potential. So, unlike with your gram-positive and gram-negative na ay thick and thin peptidoglycan, si Corynebacterium na asay mycolic acid. Okay? The same with your Mycoplasma species. So, si mycolic acid niya, shorter siya with your Mycoplasma, but it has the same lipid-rich protective coat. Okay? Unsa may importance ana. Kaning lipid-rich protective coat, this would help them survive sa environment. Okay? And for months, even moabot siya months, makakuan gyapon siya. Makasurvive gyapon siya. Mao nang magsigig balik-balik in cases of Corynebacterium diseases. Sig balik-balik because of this one. Okay? This lipid-rich protective coat. And also, sa paman be? Oo, or siya. So, muna yung naka-unique niya. Then later, ato na siya ikuan siyang pathogenesis, ha? Kaning mycolic acid. So, kung mag-staining ta, like sa Di ba? Sa ato ang gram-positive and gram-negative, gram-stain ang ato ang gamiton. For the Mycoplasma and your Corynebacterium, ang iyaha pod kay acid-fast staining. Okay? Si Coraini lang is less acid-fast siya compared with your Mycobacterium. So laboratory characterization flow, mag-sample collection ka, and then after that, imuha siyang i-culture. So on blood agar, you can see colonies that are typically off-white to cream-colored with a distinctive faint beta hemolysis. Okay? So, kani pud siya, unlike with your other bacteria nga shiny and moist, in Corynebacterium, dry and crumbly texture siya. Okay? Dry and crumbly. And then, after ta mag-BAP, we have two key staining procedures. First, we have Albert stain, which is specific for Corynebacterium. So, ang yahang i-reveal ang kaning green cells with black metachromatic granules. So, Albert stain ang gigamit ato ganina. And then, second stain, we have your methylene blue stain from Loeffler's Serum Medium, where it shows the typical morphology sa atong Coryne. Kaning long, thin, beaded cells that would help confirm us with the identification. Okay? So, muna siya. Albert stain and methylene blue stain. So, for the biochemical differentiation, so between the diphtheria that causes disease in humans and pseudotuberculosis in veterinary. So, ang main test to differentiate both is the urease test. Negative si diphtheria, positive si pseudotuberculosis. Okay. So, specifically for the pseudotuberculosis, kay veterinary concern man ni siya, we have two biotypes, the Ovis biotype and the Equi biotype. So to differentiate both, aside from si Ovis kay sa sheep and goats, si Equi ka sa horse, kay mag-nitrate test ta. Okay, nitrate negative si Ovis, nitrate positive si Equi. Okay, if makita po na to ning hockey puck sign, mo po na ang distinct daw nga morphology ni Corynebacterium under the blood agar plate. Nga na siya kalingin but so dry nga kung i-push nimo siya across the agar surface, dili siya maguba. Okay, dili siya masmudge. Okay, nga na siya ka-dry. And then for the virulence factors, okay, so first we have phospholipase D. So this is the primary exotoxin and the most important virulence factor ni Corynebacterium. Kay siya ang enzyme nga ga-destroy sa cell membranes by breaking down the sphingomyelin. Okay? So it would lead now to increased vascular permeability and would impair the neutrophil chemotaxis. To simplify it, magbuslot siya sa mga cell membrane o gi-interfere niya ang ability ni host to mount an effective inflammatory response. Okay? So dili na magpangit na ang immune system ni host, dili na makalaban. Okay? So muna ang kang phospholipase D. Second is the iron uptake controlled by the Faga-D operon. To simplify this one, makig-ilog si bacteria sa iron uptake sa host. Imbis kinahanglan kay ni host og iron, hutdo ni bacteria tanan ang iron sa lawas. Hantod sa magka-iron deficiency ang imuhang host. Okay? Third is the mycolic acid in the cell wall, katatong gikuan ganina, na say several or multiple functions. First, they act as a cytotoxic compounds and then they form a waxy armor that would protect the bacteria against lysosomal enzymes inside phagocytes. Okay? So, ang pasabutan na, imbis patyon siya sa mga macrophages, ang nahitabo kay grabe man siya waxy. Imbis mapatay siya, nakasulod siya mismo sa macrophage. Nakipuyo siya, nakasurvive siya inside the macrophage. Okay? So, nga na ang importance sa mycolic acid, the presence of mycolic acid of that particular bacteria. Okay? And then, the fourth virulence factor, you have your protease CP40, where it acts as protective antigen. And again, it would help the organism evade the host immune response. So, ang ha, protease man, so it can break down host proteins and may interfere with antibody binding. Okay? So kani sila tanan muna sila gatabang-tabang in order for the pathogen to invade tissues, to survive intracellularly, and to establish chronic infections that are difficult to treat and magsigi og balik-balik. That would recur. Okay? So transmission, okay, so depende siya. Sa obvious biotype, primary reservoir is in the gastrointestinal tract of infected animals and contaminated pens or soil. So the organism can survive in soil for extended periods due to its resistant cell wall, katong mycolic acid. And then the transmission, it occurs primarily through skin wounds. So, unsay may mga instances nga na skin wounds when mga management procedures like mag-shearing, castration, or during docking procedures. Okay? So, ang mga contaminated shears or other equipment will transfer the organism from infected to susceptible animals. Okay? And then for goats, ang ilang behavior mismo, kanang headbutting behavior nila, magsige bangga o ulo, murag abot nila, ilahan na po ng problema. Okay? Sige sila bangga-bangga. So mga tamad sila and then that would serve as entry points as well. Okay? That's what makes prevention more challenging. Kaya di man nato na ma-eliminate mga behavior. Okay? We can only manage the environment to reduce the contamination. And then for equibiotype, unknown reservoir siya, munang medyo lisod-lisod, but we know it affects horses and it's primarily transmitted through mechanical transmission by the biting flies. Okay, so the flies become contaminated when feeding on infected animals and then transfer the organism to new hosts. Okay, so yeah, ang key ang kuan nino kay nagit siya environmental persistence because of the lipid-rich cell wall. Okay, so mga clinical disease that would manifest in ruminants, small ruminants, we have casus lymphadenitis. So pseudotuberculosis gyapon na siya, which is characterized by the formation of abscesses at the lymph nodes. So naa siya cheese-like or casus, kanang casus, it refers to the cheese-like consistency of the lesions, which is the pathognomonic na sign sa kaninga sakit. Okay, kana o cheese-like. Okay? Sa lymph nodes na siya, both internal and external. And then, for example, nag-shearing ka, nasamad. So, muna ang route of entry. Okay? And then, we have equine infection such as ulcerative lymphangitis or the pigeon fever. So, the same raghihapon siya nga casus abscess but different location. Na siya sa chest or sa ventral abdominal regions. Okay? And then for the Corynebacterium renale, kato ganina kay pseudotuberculosis man, under renale group we have renale, cystidis, and pilosum. So sila ang ga-cause of contagious bovine pyelonephritis and cystitis. So ang nahitabuan ni there is ascending infection. So sa vulva o sa prepuce kay na infected, so nisaka ang bacteria up to their urinary tract. Okay, in the bladder kay cystitis man up to the kidney. Okay, nephritis. Since si renale is na ay ka ng kuan, taga na motile siya, munang makasaka siya. Okay? And then we have balanopustitis or Pizel rot. So ang nahitabuan ni ay nutritional factor siya nga maka-predispose sa animals to bacterial infection. So the pathophysiology again is clearly dietary link with high protein diets. So when rams, they consume high protein feeds, the increased protein metabolism would lead to increased urea excretion in the urine. Okay? Because the Corynebacterium renale produces urease enzyme which would i-break down niya itong mga excess urea into ammonia. Kaya di ba nganong naay excess urea? Because of the protein metabolism, increased protein metabolism. So since nama urea si renale, yang ipang breakdown tong mga excess urea that would be converted to ammonia. So kana na nun si ammonia, muna na siya mag-produce og irritation. Muna na siya mag-cause og irritation sa tissues sa it's either sa prepuce and sa glans penis sa ato ang rams. Okay? Magka chemical irritation, inflammation, and ulceration. Okay, kung bisayaon na to ng pizzle rat, nalata ang iyahang penis. Okay, pizzle manggod, old farming term na siya that refers as penis. Okay, so lata ang iyahang penis. Munang balanopostitis. Okay, gets? So table, additional nga veterinary Corynebacterium species, bovis for cattle, causes mastitis, Cocheri for lab rodents, causes pseudotuberculosis, ulcerans for cattle or cats, mastitis gihapon, and Corynebacterium diphtheriae for humans. Okay? So control and prevention, mura gihapon, balik-balik, basta kay in pigeon fever, since mechanical vector ang fighting flies, then we control the flies inside the farm. Okay? Kani, since mga management procedures mo, ang kasagaran ko sa Ovis biotype, di limpyuhan nato frequently ang ato ang mga equipment. So for key clinical takeaways for your Corynebacterium, mo na siya. Okay, let's break first for 5 minutes before we proceed with our last bacteria, which is Listeria. Okay. So, 5 minutes naman siguro, no? 5 minutes na ba? Okay, so now for our last bacteria, we have Listeria species, particularly our Listeria monocytogenes that represent as one of the most significant na mga foodborne pathogens that affects both animals and humans. Okay? So, same ra gyapon si Listeria is grabe yahang ability to survive and even multiply under refrigeration temperatures. Abi na to nga giref naman na to na safe na siya. Pero si Listeria makasurvive gyapon siya. Okay? In VetMed, we encounter Listeria primarily in ruminants where it causes mga circling disease, maka-cause of abortion storms nga pwedeng maka-disrupt sa ato ang breeding programs. Okay? And it also has a zoonotic potential. Kaya mo na kinhanglan na to ni sila i kuan subton. Okay? And then morphologically, your listeria are medium-sized, non-branching gram-positive rods. So, ang kuanan niya no kay they often appear as cocobacilli. Okay? So, rods but they can appear as cocobacilli, especially in mga clinical specimens. So, pwede gid kayo nga mag-lead siya into misidentification. Okay? So, basta small rod-shaped bacteria that can be quite pleomorphic. Okay? So notice how some appear almost round while some um clearly rod shaped siya. Like for example kana. Okay? So arrangement, it could be in single or in short chains or dili gid siya mahimong long chains that you might see with Streptococcus. Okay? And then the cellular features, so they are non-spore forming, non-encapsulated, which affects their survival strategy and laboratory identification. So respiration wise, facultative anaerobes, but their growth is enhanced by 10% carbon dioxide. This is why many laboratories use carbon dioxide incubation when they are trying to isolate Listeria from clinical specimens. Okay, so this enhanced growth in carbon dioxide is actually used as one of the presumptive identification characteristics sa Listeria. So this organism is adaptable to environmental stresses that would kill many other bacteria. For example, temperature tolerance. Okay, muna ang pinakakuha niya nga characteristic because it's psychotropic, meaning it can grow at refrigeration temperature as low as 4 degrees Celsius. Okay, this is why Listeria is such a persistent food safety problem because refrigeration doesn't stop it. It just slows it down. And then, the organism can multiply in foods nga gaka-store sa more likely sa mga temperature na we consider or we normally consider safe. And then for chemical resistance, it can survive in pH ranges from 5.5 to 9.6, which covers most natural environments and many food products. Okay? Imbis gikuan na unta siya nga pH nga ani para mamatay ng ubang bacteria, siya makasurvive siya. Okay? And then it can tolerate up to 10% salt concentration and survive in 40% bile concentration that would kill most other bacteria. So this bile resistance is actually used in selective media for Listeria isolation. And environmental habitat. So again, ubiquitous gyapon ni si Listeria. It can survive in the soil, silage, and sewage. So the soil reservoir is particularly important because it means the organism is constantly present in the farm environment. Okay? And then the silage is a critical source for ruminant infections, especially when silage pH rises above 5.5. Okay? So, makita na to na later. So, in this one, the routes of transmission. So, the cycle begins with poor quality silage with pH greater than 5.5. So, when silage pH is properly maintained below 5.5, it inhibits Listeria growth. However, when the fermentation is inadequate or air exposure occurs, musaka ang pH, and it will create ideal conditions for Listeria multiplication. So this contaminated silage now becomes the primary source of infection for the ruminants. Okay? Once ingested by the ruminant host, Listeria will proliferate and establish infection. So sa host, it can cause various clinical syndromes such as neurological disease, abortion, and septicemia. Okay? So the host response now and the bacterial load will determine which syndrome would develop. Neurological ba, abortion ba, or septicemia. Okay? Excuse me. And then once malibang ning mga affected hosts or infected hosts, mag-shed ang bacteria, so there would be fecal contamination sa environment, labi na sa soil. Okay? So karon kanang soil, it could either be makaon mismo sa ruminant host, or it can contaminate again the soil, the silage, the feeds, okay, or mga water sources. So ang kaning ilahang environmental persistence, this is what completes the cycle. Imbes mamatay ra unta sila dayon diri sa environment, pero grabe man sila ka persistent, dugay kay nga panahon nga present sila dinha, so taas kay risk nga makakontaminate again. Okay? Secondary routes, we have inhalation. So it can occur when the animals are exposed to dusty, contaminated feed or bedding. And then direct contact transmission, less common siya, but it can occur, especially during handling of infected animals or mga contaminated materials. So virulence factors. Step 1, adherence and entry by the P60 protein. So this protein will aid attachment to host cells, particularly sa intestinal epithelium and the placental tissue. So the ability to attach is the first crucial step in establishing infection. So once attached there, step 2 na dayon, this is where Listeria becomes truly dangerous because once inside the host cell, the Listeria will produce Listeriolysin O or LLO along with phospholipases. So these toxins will lyse the phagosomal membrane, allowing the bacteria to escape into the host cytoplasm. Okay? So this is critical because most intracellular pathogens are killed when the phagosome fuses with lysosome. Kay ma-undergo na sila lysosomal damage. Karon kay naka-escape man siya, so once mag-attach na ay mag-fuse na si phagosome ug lysosome, wala na si bacteria din ha. Kay naka-escape na sila. Na-avoid na nila nga mamatay sila. Okay, and then step 3 would be intracellular rocketing. So this is one of the most kanang kuha nila para maka-escape. So the ACT-A protein will hijack the host cells actin cytoskeleton to propel the bacteria through the cytoplasm like tiny rockets. So mura bitaw i-propel like kanang for example sa tirador, hunatan ba kay para malagpot ang bacteria padulong sa cytosome. Okay? Or sa mga sa mga cytoplasm. Okay? So ingan na siya. Sa cytoplasm. So kani pong kaning yahang kay makita ninyo ni kanang tail din ha, that's the comet tail motility. Comet, COMET. So because of the actin tail that forms behind the moving bacteria, muna siya ang mag-help sa yahang motility, mga makalupad gyud siya padulong sa cytoplasm. Okay? So also para maabot siya sa cytoplasm, syempre kinahanglan po niya mo survive. Okay, para asa po ang mga steps kung mamatay ra gyapon siya pag-abot sa iyang destination. So, the bacteria ensures nga makasurvive siya in harsh environments. So, the bile salt hydrolase, it allows the Listeria to survive in the gastrointestinal tract, where the bile concentrations would normally be bactericidal. Okay, na ay hydrolase na ma-produce si Listeria para maka-survive siya sa mga bile concentration. Okay? So, muna ang iyahang way para maka-infect. Okay? Gets? Now, for the clinical manifestation in ruminants, we have neural listeriosis, or also known as circling disease. So this is the most characteristic clinical manifestation in ruminants. Okay? The name comes from the distinctive niya nga behavioral sign in which magtutuyok siya. Kung counterclockwise ang direction, counterclockwise, so yun appear me. Okay, dili pwede ka counterclockwise karon then clockwise na pod pagkaugma. Okay? Isa ra gina siya. And then you would also observe sa picture head tilting, so facial paralysis as well. So drooling, nganong na drooling kay paralyzed naman, so wala na ability to swallow. Okay? So other syndromes, it could also cause abortion during the late term or third trimester. And then we have mastitis, and you have silage eye, or also known as keratoconjunctivitis or iritis. Okay? So, ano siya. So for poultry, it can cause septicemic listeriosis. So the primary lesion would be myocarditis. So there is inflammation sa yung heart muscle. Okay? So there would be systemic sign as well nga ma-manifest. Okay? Pero ang kamatian gid niya isang kaning iyahang muscle nga ga-inflame. Okay mo na yung pathognomonic lesion. So mag-lead siya into cardiac dysfunction, munang daghan kay mamatay when it comes to septicemic listeriosis in poultry. So zoonotic risk, if mukaon tag hilaw nga kanang or undercooked nga mga poultry products, pwede tang magka listeriosis. Okay? This is why we cook our chicken properly. Okay? So human listeriosis. So this is one of the most serious foodborne illnesses. So taas kini siya case fatality rate among the foodborne pathogen, si Listeria. So the transmission to humans, it occurs primarily through um foodborne, like sa itong mga ginapangkaon. The most common source are kana mga ready to eat nga mga food that don't require cooking before consumption, or mga unpasteurized dairy products. Okay, mga deli meat, soft cheese, kana raw milk products, kana siya. The organism's ability to multiply at refrigeration temperatures makes this food particularly hazardous. So in adult, kung ma-infected ta with listeria, magka-meningoencephalitis ta. Okay? Or magkwantag cutaneous lesions. Pero kung buntis ka, pwede nga magka-abortion ka, stillbirth, or premature birth. Kung makasurvive man gani ang imuhang anak or imong baby, pwede siyang magka-neonatal listeriosis. So sa manang neonatal listeriosis, ang iyahang manifestation would be hydrocephalus, in which kaning sa picture, dako yung ulo, hydro, tubig, fluid ang sulodana, from meningitis. Nagkuan naman ko, nag-inflame na yung mga meninges, so there would be fluid accumulation, and then mag-hydrocephalus. Then there would also be developmental delays or mga seizure disorders or mga intellectual disability. Okay, diagnostic flow. Naatay ginatawag nga motility testing. So ang principle ng gyud aning motility testing is ang motility sa ato ang listeria would depend on the temperature inflicted. For example, if kuani mo siya at 25 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius, motile siya. Okay, mulihok siya. Naa siya tumbling motility. End to end gina nga mag-touch sa kuan. Basta tumbling motility. Okay, di wala siya ga-swim ang yang movement or like somehow nga murag with the other bacteria. Iyaha kay kani mo touch, then kanina pod mo touch paana, basta ga-tumbling. And then in semi-solid media, kung imo siyang i-inoculate, i-stab incision mo na siya din ha, for 24 hours, mag-show siya og umbrella-shaped zone. Okay? Nga na ang iyahang manifestation. So that's when we know nga motile si bacteria. So listeria siya. Adi pa ta makayong listeria siya, motile siya. Karon kung i-incubate na to siya at 37 degrees Celsius tapos dili na siya mulihok. So muna siya nga makaingon ta presumptively nga listeria gid siya. Basta temperature dependent gyud si listeria. So this is simple, inexpensive, and highly specific. So for the BUP, so grayish white, translucent, drop-like colonies. Then nasa narrow zone of beta hemolysis. So nasa selective media that requires inhibitors like acreflavine, nalidixic acid para dili manubo ang ubang bacteria. Si Listeria ra gyud ang iyahang patubuon. And then we have the CAMP test. So the same ganina, ang nahitabo lang dire, it could either be ang imuhang streak or nurse colony is either Staphylococcus aureus or Rhodococcus equi. So for example, this one. For Staphylococcus aureus, there would be enhanced hemolysis if Listeria monocytogenes ang imuhang streak. Mo positive na siya. Pero kung Ivanovi na nga bacteria, mo negative na siya. Okay? Kung Rhodococcus equi, ang mo positive na pod kay si Ivanovi, ang mo negative na pod si monocytogenes. So imong una-unaon ang partner kay si Ivan og si Rod. Okay? Kay para dili mo maano na later on. Okay? Gets? So muna imong CAMP test. Na okay, na species differentiate na nato kung kinsa si monocytogenes o si Ivanovi. Okay? So, yeah. Muna siya, kinsay mo positive mo negative, and then unsay mga diseases nga maano niya. So, control and prevention for the silage management, we ensure that pH should not exceed 5.5 para ma-inhibit na to ang Listeria growth. Okay? Biosecurity, general health, balik-balik, and then vaccination. Okay? And then, importante lang po nga, we minimize stressors so we can prevent immunosuppression. Isolate sick animals, then proper disposal of fetuses and placental tissues in cases of abortion or stillbirth. Kaya pwede gyapon nga napa din ha ang Listeria. Okay, so here are the summary sa to ang gipang discuss. So again, if you want more arranged or more organized nga table for you to study, then make one since early pa man. So yeah. So I think that concludes our topics for this afternoon. Nakasabot ra ba? Naminaw, nakasabot? Sakit na ba kaya kung tutunan ninyo? Wala din mo naminaw. Di na lang sa mga klase. Magpa-reading assignment na lang ko. React na yun. Okay? Sige. Okay, so since wala man pa mo kareva sa Bacillus o sa sa ganitong isa? Bacillus o basta katong isa?
Entero. Pero,
Oo. Wow, nag-study lugar ka. Talasan. Okay, Enterobacteriaceae. Kaya siya, duha ang inyong reva during your lab sched next week. Okay? First reva, Bacillus entero, and then second reva is this one, kaning tulo ka bacteria. Okay? Nasabtan, if you have any question about or regarding the bacteria or regarding our topics, you can PM me. But if kanang schedule-wise or mga unsa-unsa pa na nga question din ha, approach your mayor and si mayor na din ninyo ang mo ano sa ko. Kaya para ma-aware po ang ubang mayors sa kung unsay queries ninyo. Okay? So, that's it. I hope naminaw nasabtan tanan. Okay, if wala na concern, then thank you for your time. Thank you for attending. Bisan no kayang weather, lami kay katulog. Okay. Sige.
Bye, Doc.
Bye-bye.
bye,
Thank you.
Doc. Thank you. Bye, Doc.
Thank you, Doc.